cold here. I'm freezing. I'm in the winter jacket. Before I start, I just want to say a quick thank you. First of all, to AGI who has this vision to rotate whole city. I think that's incredible, even though it sounds like a small logistical decision, because it completely changed how stories get told and we get the local moment, and that's really great. And also having AGI open at this part of our world, I think that's really means a lot. So I really want to give a big thank to Joshua and Xian for bravely taking up this huge task of organizing it in our backyard. So yeah, because honestly, it's very heartwarming to see also a lot of familiar faces that I know from Indonesia. I think there are 30 of you here. Thailand, Malaysia, of course Vietnam, and my country, Singapore. A couple of studios are here, and yeah, my entire studio is here. So it's a little bit comforting but terrifying. So no one's in the office right now, so don't call, don't even try. So I really believe that Southeast Asia is not just a region, but it's the potential. I hope that we can do more together in this part of the world. So yeah, let's start. Okay, my name is Yah-Leng, and I run a little studio called Foreign Policy in Singapore. And most of us are here. There are two members who are not here because they have to do some heavy lifting meeting in Bangkok. So here we are. I've kind of named this talk Designing in Translation because it's basically our daily job at our office to translate between new and old, local and global, home and elsewhere. So today I'm not talking about Olympics system or giant museum system, because most of us here don't design such big projects. Small businesses carry our economy, and we design small businesses, small brands, restaurants, cafe, things that are in the corner. But that's exactly those places that negotiate culture every day in real life, and this scale really matters. I'm also bringing you something in Mexico. Later I will talk about it, and also a little neighborhood bakery in Singapore, and also something that we do an experiment every year. Very quickly, foreign policy, what we do, everything starts with storytelling. And we don't tell stories from thin air. We spend a lot of time doing research, looking at vernacular, culture on the ground, behavior. For example, this trip, the entire studio is here is not just having a good time, but I think lots of observation, research, and getting to know Vietnam is a great way to research. And eventually, this could be used somewhere else in other projects. When I mean strategy, it's really taking all these together and then putting them into meaningful, a story that people would respond and relate to. So as soon as that strategy is clear, it's easy to put visual stuff on it. So that's that. The first project I want to talk about is makan. Makan is a word shared between Singapore, Malaysia, and Indonesia. It's a Malay word that means eat. So makan is a small restaurant, Singaporean restaurant in Mexico City. The restaurant is owned by a Singaporean and a Mexican husband who is also a chef. So the challenge here wasn't branding an Asian restaurant, but it was at least the brief that we created for ourselves was to make it specific enough to be Singapore, but simple enough for Mexico, the people at Mexico who knows shit about Singapore, to be able to walk in and be interested to order something. So that's kind of the goal. If you look at these, I'm not here to roast these places because they are people feeding families and paying rent. But this is what I call Asia's style. These identities, if you move them from London, New York, Tokyo, anywhere, they kind of still work. But so they're kind of Asian enough, but they're not anywhere specific. They're not Vietnamese, they're not Singaporean, they're not Thai or Indonesian or whatever, but it's just Pan-Asia wallpaper. So, our approach is to look at both sides of the culture to find overlaps, and then use what we know best to storytell and turn these into a stairway into Singapore. But as always, we start with vernacular. On the Singapore side, we collect real life stories, how real life looks like, the new and the old, the hand painted signs, the bowls, the rooster bowls that's kind of ubiquitous, the ping pong girl and boy set of ceramic wares are also quite interesting that we decided to synthesize onto this set of vernacular. Also the flora enamel ware that was formerly used as a wedding thing where they place food and dowry. And that really speaks of the culture and colorful identity of Singapore. And the pink paper there was still used, but getting lesser now. It's how they wrap Chinese herbal medicine in the traditional hall in Southeast Asia. And then we look at, on the other side, Mexico, we look at, same thing, typography, hand-painted signs, interior, exterior, color blocks, floral patterns, we see them everywhere, and also roosters everywhere. So from there, the strategy kicks in. We're just looking for overlaps, and very clearly you can see the three overlaps: the vibrant color that both culture very comfortable with, and then the roosters, they're everywhere, and then the floral patterns, they appear everywhere in everyday life. So these are the first steps to a stairway. I call it a stairway because the Mexicans probably can recognize and are familiar with these things and feel at home with, and they can be familiar enough to step into a completely new food culture. So these are the eventual identity system that we came up with, so mixing the different vernacular and typography style that we found, research along the way. Just wanted to make it a little bit more fun, so there is a varied sort of way to represent identity with alongside how these could be applied on posters and digital format. As you know, it's Instagram, social media era, so it's important to be able to express in that way as well. And all the graphic elements that we've researched, we're able to sort of refine and sort of make it better in the communication of the application. Well, if you look at the menu, it sort of feels Mexican, but it's also very sort of old school Singaporean. And here's our rooster. Yes, so there's always familiarity. So yeah, we did a whole, it's not a huge project, but we really had fun with it because we were able to dig deep into both culture and be able to sort of synthesize and crystallize the various graphic elements and color palette for what we can do here for the team in Mexico. And this was done over COVID. It was very interesting remotely. And the team loved merch, of course, everyone does. So we've also helped them develop several ideas for the merch. Socks, hats, all that, t-shirts, and the various digital application for the digital format. And yes, you can also follow them on Instagram. They are very happy to say that the team was able to follow our brand system and carry it through very well throughout the social media area. So that's Makan. That's one story sitting between two cultures. Now I want to show you the opposite situation, which is a bakery at home, which has two sort of dual identity, two DNA, French and Singapore DNA. It is an institution. Everyone knows about this bakery, and the task for us is to rebrand it without sort of killing the neighborhood. It's called Tiong Bahru Bakery. It's in this small little neighborhood called Tiong Bahru, which is sort of a preservation area. The architecture of this neighborhood is really interesting. It's left by our British friends when they visited. So it's very different from what you see in the high-rise flats. And this place is on Eng Hun Street. That's the flagship store. Yes, the founder is Singaporean, and she works with a patisserie chef called Antoine Cherrier, and from them we finally get real deal croissant. That's really interesting, very important. And because of them, they created a wave. Everyone kept going back because they, I don't know, dying or craving to have French pastries every day. That place is always packed. Yeah, we can't keep them from good croissant. So this is another location, and that's the logo. So you can see the brand was getting a little bit tired and wasn't really connecting with the new generation, and the owners know it. So as you know, every business must have generational customers, or else it can't survive. So we had a conversation, and and they would like to have us help them to continue their legacy, so that they can also expand the brand beyond Singapore. So the question wasn't how do we make this cooler or how do we make this relevant with the younger folks, but rather how can we rebrand this without losing the street, the neighborhood, and the people who are showing up, making it special. So that was really the task at hand. So we positioned the brand with this line, every city is a neighborhood. For us, this is less of a tagline, but more like a rule, because we really want Tiong Bahru to go wherever it goes. It shouldn't feel like a global chain without character, or feeling like it's a very corporate chain. That's totally what we want to avoid, because it's really generic and soulless. But it should feel like it's another sort of corner store where people could bump into each other, have a little chat, share tables, and maybe the owners, the waiters already know what you want to order. It just should feel like the city has been shrunk into the corner. So that's kind of where we started, and we started to think and strategize to build a system that should be able to grow. So like I said, we want to totally avoid the international nice bakery template. The very clean, the very minimal, could be anywhere kind of look. So what we did was to take something that's very hand-drawn, intentionally imperfect, more human, and could be subjective. I don't know. Maybe Tobias, you don't like photography. Okay. I think it should feel like it belongs to a neighborhood. At the same time, it could be a system. It could be rolled out to many stores and future cities. And it could be always remembered as being born on that charming street on Eng Hun Road in Tiong Bahru. And it should feel like it's a place that actually sells carbs and not just lifestyle. And this system is actually heavily resting on illustration. And of course, we need to draw all the bakes and the famous croissant and all that. But what's really important is we want the customers to become the characters. We didn't want the brand to feel like it was floating above real life. So we started drawing people who actually show up at Tiong Bahru Bakery. You know, the auntie with the bicycle, the guy with the laptop, the girl with the bike, the kid with croissant that's bigger than her face. And it's also a super pet-friendly space, so the dogs get drawn as well. So these loose, hand-drawn illustrations are all inspired by real customers who maybe turn up a little bit quirky, but they're not just generic coffee shop icons. They're little portraits of the neighborhood energy, and that's something that we want to emphasize, that they can evolve as the brand moves into new cities and meet new characters. So this is a way of saying this place is about you, not just about the bread. And so we also give it a sort of a color palette that relates to the French ingredient for the bakes as well as relating to Singapore shop houses. And there you go, that's that identity that we've come up with the inclusion of the client's request to make a little icon that looks like a little croissant, the TVD. So I'm just gonna scroll through quickly how it's applied: interiors, packaging, menus.
Wow.
And this takes the entire team to work on this. This is really a team effort. Everyone with the special little skills put their heart in. It was a really special project. I want to acknowledge that to my entire team. Applause. Yes, also we are really interested to make sure that also the staff uniform is properly done. So we worked with a fashion label in Singapore. So it's like a three-way collaboration to work out this really special uniform that looks, you know, comfortable for the staff as well as good looking for the brand. And so it goes. Everything you can work on for the brand is presented in the store, including a huge LED screen, and so on and so forth. Oh yeah, we also take really careful attention on the copywriting. You know, that's really important for us. So it's kind of punny. Yeah, digital applications. Right. Okay, I realize I'm rushing through. Still have time. Okay, the last project I want to talk about is something that we do every year as sort of a little experimental sort of tiny lab thing that we do in the studio. The client is ourselves, by Anya Kalashet. If you guys know about Chinese New Year, we give out something what we call the red packets. Something like that. Money to the kids usually. It's a form of like good luck, and we want to be able to connect the young people to traditions like this, because I don't know about here, but Singapore it's sort of a fading sort of tradition. So we wanted to sort of pop it up and rethink how we could reconnect this to the younger generation. So, for example, the bunny or the year of the rabbit, we didn't really want to do something that's predictably a bunny on the red packet or something that's red or gold or predictably cliche. So we came out with a kit. Usually we have a kit that has usually a couple of packets that people would buy and then they could use it to put money in. So this is actually a sort of a red packet, but it's a 3D paper carrots, and this is what we did for that year. That's 2023. Now, of course, alongside we like puns, so we use all these Chinese New Year puns, read things into puns to amp up the energy for this kit. And coincidentally, in one of the Chinese dialect, carrots also means good luck, called
Carrots.
cai tou. I don't know if you guys understand. Maybe the Taiwanese people would.
Wow, so cute.
And then for the year of the dragon, that was last year, it was quite challenging because, rabbits kind of cute, but dragons kind of scary. So how do we tell a story? So we decided to sort of like forego all traditions, break all like rules, and we just did typographic expression of the dragon shape in that style, and we're not even using any of the auspicious color is blue. And the way the packet could be opened is like clawing it like dragon claw. So that's how we did it. And of course, we inspired by the Gen Zs and memes. We created a kit that's Gen Z friendly. That also includes sort of fake tattoos. There's also a relation to this where in the older days, I guess it's the mafia, like high stress, but that happened, and because of high cost, this was only 50 were only made, so it's a thing. So we documented it. Again, it's very sort of Gen Z 90s memes inspired. Yeah, it's fun. And also for the fun of it, we also did something that is, I guess, low tech. We did a low tech typeface. Is that okay? Okay. Yeah. So it's a tiny format, but the approach is exactly the same, same as the two other examples. We start from tradition, the idea of giving luck, family. We also look at how people live now, the Gen Zs, the memes, cute characters, how people share things on their phones. And then we design a little story that connects both. So it's the same equation, people, place, culture, that's just compressed into a money pocket. So for us, it's proof that you don't need to repeat the same old symbols to respect tradition. You just need to keep the meaning and just update the language. So today, this sort of two learnings is that I want to share with everyone is to start with real people in real place when you design I guess, brand identity, and keep the meaning and just update the language. So everything else we do is just design catching up to that. Yeah, that's all. That's all today. Hope that was good enough. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Yah-Leng.